Hello, everybody. Here we go. Tracy Kanoski, America's Virtual Nutritionist. And tonight we're going to talk about safe personal care products. And I have a whole counter full here on my office desk of stuff we're going to I'm going to show you and talk about how I use it. And most of it's stuff I like, of course, but we're going to talk about what I've liked and what I don't like. And you can ask questions. I'm not a I'm not a food scientist or a chemical engineer or a scientist. I've just studied a few things and I'll share what I know. So hopefully we get a few people to hop on. 6 o'clock here, so we're just having the end of a green smoothie. Kim Hudson's on. Hi Kim Gromans. Yep. So tell me what you had for dinner. We're just going to wait for a few people to hop on, and it's dinner time. So I was just saying that I am finishing up a green smoothie because that's easy to do while I'm online here. We're going to talk about personal care products tonight. If I'm showing up in your feed, stick around. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. We've got fun stuff to talk about tonight. So Kim, did you get trapped in any weather going to or from? I heard the roads have been really nasty. Hello, who's out there? Spirulina drink, light salad. Nice. Does it take a while for the typing to come through? I'll have to learn to be really patient. So over the weekend, Johnny had a birthday. It's actually tomorrow, but who wants to celebrate on a Tuesday, right? So this last weekend, one of his brothers flew in, and his daughter and our son-in-law came up from Wyoming, and then we had a bunch of friends over. So we had a nice, haven't had trouble getting around. We had a nice weekend. We had some gluten-containing foods, some gluten-free foods. I stopped by Ray Ray's Bakery on the Billings West End and picked up a gluten-free spice pumpkin loaf, and it was delicious. It had eggs. It's the first time I've knowingly ate eggs in probably 2 years. But it was delicious. Picked up a gluten-free scone, a couple cookies, and some rolls. And then we had regular food too. I just labeled everything. Hi, Sue. Nice to see you. Sue's always engaging on the Facebook page. So it says we've got 4 people. Who else is out there? Thanks for saying hi, Sue. We're going to talk about personal care products tonight. I've got a lot of stuff here. I'm going to show you stuff. We're going to talk about what we're doing. Just hoping to get a few more people on. Got lots of things on my little desk here. And hi, Valentina. We're just finishing up a green smoothie. Tell me what you're up to. It's 6 o'clock here, so we're in the middle of mealtime. Kim, I love Ray Ray's. Yeah, so I don't usually get along with xanthan gum. I feel like I did all right this weekend. Had a nice chat with the owner. For those of you not local, Ray Ray's is a dedicated gluten-free bakery here in Billings, Montana. And I've always picked up a few things, or I have picked up a few things like when the co-op was open, but I've never actually gone into the store. And so anyway, we did have a nice chat, and I picked up several things for our birthday celebration. So. Okay, well, let's get started. I'm sure this will, more people will hop on. We're up to 8. That's great. Okay, goofy little humor. Okay, so we're talking about personal care products. So I want to start this out, and I'm going to say this a lot because you know how Facebook Live, it's going to show up in people's feed and people will see it and then tune in and tune out. But would you go out to your garage and would you pour gasoline all over yourself? Probably not, right? I hope not. Would you go out to your shop and would you would you paint yourself? Like, would you literally put paint like on the walls all over your skin? No, right? So that's why it matters what you're going to put on your skin. So we are going to start off tonight with maybe some easy stuff, the things that I probably know the least about. This is the brand of shampoo and conditioner I take. Everything is exactly opposite. It's hard to get it straight. So I am not a chemical scientist, but I know that it says no parabens, no phthalates, no animal testing, which is great, vegetarian ingredients. It took me a lot of different tries to find a shampoo that actually got sudsy and actually cleaned my hair. I'm not interested in all the no poo kind of stuff. And then I use the same brand for conditioner. And there's stuff in here that, you know, I have no idea what it is. There's a lot of natural stuff, but there's also, you know, lauryl sulfacetate, glucoside. I mean, it's too much, right? Like, I'm more concerned about the things that I actually put on my skin, because that obviously I have some absorption while I'm doing my hair, and then you put the conditioner on, but you know, it's a toxic world and we can only do so much. So that's shampoo and conditioner. That's pretty easy. Some other little things, arnica cream, if you don't have it around. It's a homeopathic cream, so if you do get an injury, let's say you feel like you fell and maybe you feel like your ribs are bruised, or you were lifting weights and maybe your shoulder was sore, whatever the case is, you don't put it on anything with an open wound, but you definitely can put it on an affected area. And you can do it, you know, every 15 minutes, every hour, whatever you feel like it might take. Okay, let's talk about face stuff. This is kind of fun. Oh, I forgot my cleaner. No, this is it. Sorry. Okay, this is by, I mean, it's the same company where I buy, it's called, it says Self-Health Revolutions, all-in-one herbal face cleansing lotion. I told you it's a little bit all-in-one herbal face cleansing lotion. So this is kind of oily and not what you'd think of for soap, right? But I definitely use this at night. I use it most if I've worn mascara for the day, and it's safe enough to, you know, put all over my eyelashes, and then I have an organic cloth and I can just wipe everything off. You know, we think of soap as being drying, and when I'm done with this soap, face soap, my face feels really moist. And so I didn't love it to start with because it was so different than what you'd think of for soap, but I do really like it now. I probably would rebuy that. And the website I go to is called Herbal Face Food, and then when you get there, you can, they have all kinds of products. So another one of their products is, this is half of a bottle of Herbal Face Food. This is really concentrated, and it's got, I will try to attach the brand names to the video. Like that one we just did was Self-Health Revolution. Herbal Face Food is the website you would go to look at that. This is also off the Herbal Face Food website, and this has a lot of thyme in it. It's very medicinal. I have heard of, I can't, you know, you have to be careful about what I say, but I've heard of people using this for like little face cancers, and again, not my specialty area, but and of course they can go deep, so if it's a bad case of melanoma, you definitely need to do something different. But if you had like something suspicious and you wanted to watch it for a while, I'm just saying things I've heard in medical forums. So Herbal Face Food, and this is it's quite astringent. I've also heard of people saying that it gets rid of like the aging spots. It's like looking in the mirror, except it's opposite. So I have a little sunspot, aging liver spot right here, and I gave up trying to get rid of it. It comes and goes, more so with my diet. The cleaner my diet is, the lighter this little spot gets, and if I do cheat, it's like it's my signal to the world that I've been eating something. So Herbal Face Food, on their website, they say it's great for wrinkles, for reversing aging, I mean, whatever they can legally say. So you definitely, that one, don't put it around your eyes. It is really safe. So Herbal Face Food, I guess I should tell you how I found it. They say that it's all organic, and it's all stuff you could eat. And the light's not good enough that I'll be able to read you what's in here, but it's like oils and then essential oil of thyme and you know, a lot of the stuff that I use on my body, I want to be safe enough that I literally could eat it, because again, we're not going to pour gasoline all over ourselves, we're not going to paint our body, and so we really need to think about that when we go to do personal care products. Okay, same company, and I love this in the winter. I try to be really careful using it because it's not cheap. I want to say it's like $60. It's a pretty good size jar if you can, you know, get an idea. I bought this the first time I tried it. It was kind of, you know, you just try things. And then I waited until they had a Christmas special, like a Black Friday sale, and they had a buy one, get the second one for $10 with free postage. So I got a smoking deal. I bought 2, and I hope that'll last me at least a year, maybe 2. This has really got some emollient kind of stuff in it, and so it covers nicely. It comes with a little wooden spoon. I'm going to take my ring off here. I'm going to show you. It's I just got done working out. It's a thick paste, and it's yellow, and it also has kind of a small, strong smell like that the Herbal face food that really was for the face. This is, again, same company. It's called Herbal Body Food. Really moisturizing, good for feet, good for hands. I don't know, my calves get really dry. You know, I spend most of the winter, even though it's cold out, in flip-flops still, because our house is usually warm. And so, you know, your feet get calloused. And okay, and then throw questions up if you have questions, if I'm not being specific enough. If you go read those websites, really clean ingredients. Okay, let's go to some face stuff just because they're closest in front of me. Terr Essentials, Terr Essentials, is one of the oldest body care products I found. Probably 10 years ago I've been using this. I got to talk to the owner once when I very first found him. She had cancer herself, so she's really particular about what she uses. And even before it was popular, all of her products, I'll just keep it up there, have been certified organic, USDA. This is like aloe water, hibiscus, green tea, echinacea, aloe vera juice, essential oil of orange, extracts of lavage, which I think Lavage, privet, white peony, angelica, more essential oils, lang lang. This is my favorite smell, but it comes in a couple different smells. This one's kind of a raspberry. It's a toner, so I use it to get the rest of my makeup off. So at night, let's say I've worn mascara, I'm going to use this one to get most of my mascara off, and I don't wear any other makeup, so there's not much else to do. This was the Herbal Face Food All Cleansing Lotion. So that's going to get most of my mascara off at night, and then in the morning, when there's just that little residual of mascara, I'm going to take this Terr Essentials toner and get the rest of the mascara off, tighten up all your skin, and away you go. And again, it was a base of aloe vera juice, water sort of thing. Same company, Terr Essentials. The package is long gone. This is dried and crushed raspberries, and a little wooden spoon in there just to grab some. And this is an exfoliant, and it's just the dried raspberry. So I love that. Again, that's from Terr Essentials. Also from Terr Essentials is the body wash, and I love the lavender one, but they have a few different smells. Try to get it so the angle's good. So this is just a body wash, smells great. Love that. Keep it in the shower, travel with it, get little travel size ones. Also Terr Essentials. We have lots of choices for skincare, so let's go back. I'll show them to you all at once. This is an oil, sunflower oil, cocoa butter, and almost everything else is essential oils, and there's some sunflower oil in here. But oh, and I'm sure there's some shea butter because it can get sort of thick if it gets cold. So we have this to just put from head to toe when the weather's dry. It's called Terra Essentials Organic Super Emollient Moisturizer. Okay, we have the Herbal Body Food by Herbal Face Food is the website I put in, from head to toe. And then we have here locally in Montana is Beartooth Butters. So this was made by a friend of mine. She sold the company, but they still use all the same ingredients. And this is shea butter, coconut oil, beeswax, sweet almond oil, lanolin, aloe vera butter, mango butter, kokum butter, and red raspberry seed oil, which is a natural, you can use it in the sun, like a natural sunscreen. And this is also thick, and you're going to take a little bit, put it in between your fingers, and rub it around, and then head to toe. I use this a lot with frankincense oil, and I've got 2 here, and I like to take some form of one of these oils, but this one is already scented, so and so is this one. This one's the kind of the thymy, spicy smell. So I like to take one of my 2 essential oils. I've got some from Living Libations, and we'll talk about them. And I've got one from Eden's Garden, way cheaper because it's not an MLM company. Probably the best one is the Living Libations, but I like to take some of the just plain unscented coconut butter, some of the essential oil of frankincense, get it all, ready and greasy, and then do under my armpits and all over my breasts, because frankincense is the most anti-cancer essential oil that we have, and this one in particular is the one from Oman, and it has they have the lowest cancer rate. So you want to take care of your girls, give them some love, and take care of those lymph nodes, because nobody wants to be the next breast cancer person, right? Okay, so we said we would talk about Living Libations. So they make some things that I love. They are a high-end personal care product company out of Canada, and they have an oil called Everybody Loves the Sun that I like to put on if I'm going into the sun, or use it as an after sun product. It's got sea buckthorn oil, which is really good for the skin, and it's called Best Skin Ever Sea Buckthorn. And again, so that's for pre and after sun from Living Libations, livinglibations.com. And then if we need to counter the sun exposure, like if you're going fishing for the day or something, this is Living Libations Everybody Loves the Sun with zinc, so that and it'll turn you kind of white, so you just have to know that, but that's one of the safest ways to do sunscreen. And then I have the Living Libations frankincense oil, which I really treasure, and I try to use that one just on all my lymph nodes. If I was going to put frankincense oil all over my feet, not that this makes any sense, but I would probably use this one. It was way cheaper, maybe not as strong. You still want to put safe stuff on your skin, don't get me wrong. So just, I don't feel like cheap means not good, but I do sort of reserve that one because it was pretty spendy, so I treasure it, right? All of this is an investment. This has all come over 10 years of figuring things out. Here's a pretty good option for you if you don't have tons of money and you love, you have really dry skin. Tropical Traditions makes a moisturizing lotion. Again, I love lavender, so this is lavender. No alcohol, no petroleum, no artificial. And this is water, organic virgin coconut oil, jojoba, is that jojoba? Emulsifying wax that's plant-based, no soy, grapefruit seed extract, palm oil, and essential oils. And this really covers lightly. Don't ask me why I don't use more of this, because I can't tell you. It would be the most reasonable, cost-effective option to give you. Okay, and then we're moving quick here. Ancient Minerals. I just grabbed this because if you ever have something, like if you've got some sciatica pain, or like when I was in the car wreck, magnesium oil. This is a good brand of magnesium oil that I feel fine putting on. So that's it. I wasn't going to talk much about makeup because it's such a small part of our life. So if we were going to talk about toxins in general, the biggest place your toxins are going to come from are going to be things like the air, the water, the food supply. Those are much bigger than spending, you know, $25 on a tube of mascara or something. So the makeup that I do wear, I wear a little bit of Burt's Bees, just lip liner, or it's called Bare Essentials. I get it at Natural Grocer here in town. So 2 options for my lips. I just have some Revlon eyeliner and some regular mascara, because again, compared to all the other places we're going to get toxins, even just like sitting here, you know, the carpet, our carpets are older, but carpet is off-gassing, paint is off-gassing, we've got stuff in the sky, we've got stuff in the water. Like, the mascara is such a small piece that I feel like we need to save our money and make good choices other places. So, okay, so we did shampoo, conditioner, we did head to toe body stuff, we did some face stuff. What questions do you have? Do you need me to go back over something? Do you have something you think is helpful and you want to share? Don't be shy. Got to stay hydrated too. So while you're thinking about mascara, I just wear regular mascara, Amy, because I'm much more concerned about buying food that's organic than I am about the little bit of mascara I use. I'm not a big makeup person, so there's my disclaimer. No worries that you just joined late. I wear a little bit of eyeliner. I mean, if I'm, you know, have to be on screen or going somewhere. Toothpaste. I should have brought up the toothpaste. I'm in my office and now I'm plugged in. So I have some Lucky's toothpaste. Let's go back to eyeliner. So I wear a little bit of eyeliner. It's Revlon. I have an orange tube of mascara for a tiny bit of mascara, but you know, I might wear mascara 2 days a week, and I'm way more concerned about spending my money on organic celery, organic cucumbers, apples, the things that are highly sprayed, and because I juice all the time. Good question, Amy. How about permanent eyeliner? So that is a tattoo. Tattoos do come with heavy metals. You can get rid of heavy metals. I have a recipe on my website for a heavy metal detox smoothie. It's not buried too far. I posted it in the last 6 months or so, so you could easily find a recipe for getting rid of heavy metals. It's got cilantro, wild blueberries, barley grass juice powder, parsley, dulse flakes. I put aloe in it. I put some other things in it for skin health. But so permanent eyeliner is just like a mini tattoo, so you have to think about all of that with heavy metals. As much as companies want to tell you that they have safe, non-toxic tattoos, I haven't seen enough good research to support that. Okay, toothpaste. I have 3 kinds of toothpaste. I have one called Lucky's. It comes in a little little container smaller than any of those I showed you, you know, this big around. And it's a tooth whitener, and it's black. So a little bit of a surprise there, but it's a toothpaste and a teeth whitener that's safe. It's got coconut oil, charcoal. We also use, I'm sorry, I can't think of the other kinds of toothpaste that we have. I feel like one is called, no, I'm sorry, I can't remember. Okay, what else? We do have an electric toothbrush, which I think is great. And don't forget to floss. I am amazed at how much plaque forms on a healthy diet. It must be something about the aging process. It's not Tom's, because they continued to use sodium lauryl sulfate, and I didn't care for that. And so I just can't. It's white. I mean, it's a white. I feel like it might be called Jason's, but that's one of them. You know, you just end up grabbing the same things over and over. Redmond toothpaste, I've heard of that. In fact, for bath salts, I have some Redmond clay. Does that sound familiar, Sue? Because I have some bath salts. So let's talk about baths. Personally, I use things like Squiggle. I haven't heard of that. I'll have to look it up. It sounds fun. Epsom salts, baking soda, essential oils. If I have a lot of pain, again, like the car wreck I was in, I get mud baths, little sachets from Torf, T-O-R-F, like Frank, Spa, Torf Spa, and they have mud. It comes from Czechoslovakia. They bring it over to Florida. They sell it in little sachets or a whole tube. The camera is so weird. A tube like this, just a cylindrical tube, and then you can pack your neck, and then I would sit like in the far infrared sauna, and you can also take those sachets, put them in the bathtub, help ground out all the EMFs that we're exposed to, great for pain. Right, so Epsom salts, baking soda, and the mud baths with essential oils. And then I also have some, I feel like it's called Redmond clay, that I can also put in there. So any of those are great for the bath. We did soap. I mean, soap was this body wash by Tear Essentials, and I have the lavender one, but again, there were several different scents of it. Redmond clay is in Redmond toothpaste. There you go. Yes, it's a Redmond clay bath salt. So here's what I don't love, is that we have a clawfoot tub that Johnny restored, and when I do the Redmond clay, it just leaves a lot of stuff in the tub, and I don't love that. I'm a little afraid of scratching it, but you know, all that aside, if you had a regular bathtub, that would be great stuff. Sue, I know from all of her comments on Facebook, has studied this all for a very long time, and so you can you can probably feel fairly confident in Squiggle toothpaste and other things that Sue's got here. What other questions do we have? Oh, it isn't that it sticks, it's just that you have to keep running water through it in order to get all of the particles down the drain. It comes clean, it just it doesn't just all swoosh down. So it's not the end of the world. It's just the, you know, at the Torf Mud Spa does the exact same thing. Hi, Teresa. So do you know if there's a far infrared sauna that can go outside? I do not have room inside. Yes, there are all kinds of them. I would probably go to Costco.com and just start looking at far infrared saunas there. They come with covers on them. For reference, the brand that we have is a Sunlighten, S-U-N-L-I-G-H-T-E-N, and it has far infrared, mid infrared, and near infrared. And when we bought it, I had been sick with and diagnosed with the chronic Lyme, and I was in quite a bit of inflammation, pain, all of that. And so I did do some research and found that the near and the mid infrared rays have some benefits for pain. And I'm glad we bought it, because then I got rear-ended this last year, and so I used that setting again. But it was a lot more expensive than just a plain old far infrared sauna, like 2 or 3 times. So I think I would just go to Costco. The only things I know about far infrared are just really to make sure that there's not any solvents or anything. They're usually made out of a hardwood like redwood or something, which is great. I never ran into anybody who painted one or had any kind of a lacquer or anything on it, but you wouldn't want that. You don't want to be breathing it in. If we could do it over again, I'd have spent less money on the near and the mid infrared rays and got one that's bigger, because I can barely sit with my legs across, and if you're going to use it a lot, it would sure be nice to lay down in there. Hi, Lauren. What are your thoughts on nail polish? So I think if people are really healthy and you're doing a lot of liver, you know, therapies, things to support your liver, it isn't the end of the world, but we're absorbing on all levels. And so I now avoid it all. I mean, I've had really sensitive health for 2 years. I feel good, but I work really hard at it, and I'm pretty sensitive. So so I don't do pedicures or manicures right now, but I know they make some safer stuff. And I think it's a really individual answer based on how healthy you are. If you're 25 and your health is great and you're running, you're doing half marathons, and you really have a strong constitution, I mean, those things do accumulate, so it isn't like they're 100% safe, but I think it's a really different answer than somebody, the people that I work with often have really chronic long-term mystery conditions, and everything we can do to save them from inhaling solvents, even for the amount that you absorb through your nails, you have to think about sitting in that salon for an hour or two, is another piece. Like if you're getting a whole pedicure. So yeah. Hi Sue, glad you're back. So tell us your favorite products, especially if they're really cost effective. I find that, yeah, I know, the nail polish removers are just as toxic. Yeah, that's one of the worst. So a year and a half ago, our daughter Jessie was getting married, and I went and had my nails done, and I couldn't believe how much stuff it took to get the nail polish off. Like they actually ended up, I got shellacs or whatever it's called, so that they were really sturdy and didn't break over the weekend. And they actually buffed, like took like a drill and like buffed off all the polish and then used the remover, which I guess was better than making me swim in chemicals. But anyway, yeah, pretty natural around here. Not a lot of makeup, pretty, I almost 99.9% of the time my hair is up. And so just enough stuff to keep my hair up there. And yeah. Yep, wear a mask. I know a lot of people, so in the latest stuff I've studied, the reason people have trouble losing weight is a combination of liver, adrenals, and thyroid. And when you think about the thyroid is like a magnet for toxins, the adrenals, everybody's stressed, and the liver just has years and years of being overwhelmed. So all of this, it really does add up. I know it, sometimes I see women and I think, oh, I wish I was doing my nails, or I wish I did blah, 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 because we just want to look nice, right? But is it worth, struggling even more with my weight? I'm already dealing with issues with just a liver my whole life. I was born a colicky baby, and so the solution back then was that they put me on phenobarbital, which is a pharmaceutical drug, as a brand new infant, and I was on it for 6 months. I was discharged from the hospital for it. So lots of things, but I feel like my whole life I've worked really hard to work on my health and be healthy. And so at this point, it's very conscious decisions about, what am I going to eat? What am I going to drink? We have air filters. We have the Berkey water filter in the kitchen. We have an IQ air filter here in our house. We have one in the bedroom and one on the main floor. We have radiant floor heat, so we don't have central air. So we have a standalone unit, again, on the main floor, and then one down in our bedroom. So just lots of things after you get sick that you think, okay, I need to work on this and minimize these toxic exposures as much as I can. So, and I did just come in from the rebounder. That's my favorite form of exercise. So try to keep my little sweater on. So what else? We're at 33 minutes. I'm happy to answer questions, or I've shared everything. And if you've got some other questions, kombucha. So, yeah, the rebounder. So I used to do a lot of kombucha, and I don't anymore. If you get along with it, I think that's great. I've read some controversial things about kombucha. I know it's very popular, and I just decided not to do it anymore, and I don't recommend it for my patients anymore. I recommend a lot more lime water, lemon water that are alkalizing, other things to help people with their gut health, but not necessarily kombucha or fermented products. I love the rebounder. So our heart pumps our blood and the circulatory system, but our lymph system doesn't have a heart to pump all the lymph fluid. So when you're on a rebounder and you jump and come down and jump and come down, when you're at that zero gravity place, the lymph vesicles, if that's what they are, they're like this, can open up and the fluid can move back up towards the heart. So rebounding is a great way to do that. And so I was rebounding, then I got rear-ended, and I wasn't able to rebound for quite a while because of neck pain and the jarring motion, and now I'm able to do just some really basic rebounding again. So even if it's 6 at night, I just try to get my little, yep, great for cardio. I try to get just my little workout in. The car wreck thing really has been a big deal to recover from. And you know, your adrenals are affected too. So I find that if I do too aggressive a workout, then I just need to take a nap, or I'm too tired and it's hard to get through the day. So I think we all have to use our intuition in that regard of what we're able to take on at any one time. So they're incredible. I mean, that's what the astronauts use. A lot of the Olympic athletes, it strengthens core muscles, gets that lymph moving. You can do kickboxing on it. I try to do gentle stuff, and then I'll run in place, and then and if you don't know, a rebounder is just like a mini personal trampoline. And then I'll try to do some, you know, squat down and like pretend like I'm skiing to try to work on my thigh muscles a little bit. So, but everybody, you know, is going to find their own place. 5 minutes to 20 minutes a day would be great, whatever you feel like you can handle. And 5 minutes at a time, a couple of times a day is okay too, but you really want to keep that lymph moving. The lymph system can easily get overwhelmed when the liver is overwhelmed. So, okay. Anybody else have a great shampoo that they love, that they feel like is really safe, and it bubbles? I like shampoo that makes me feel like I'm washing my hair. Terra Essentials, the company that I said I love all of their body care products, I tried their shampoo and it felt like I was putting mud in my hair. Totally hated that one, and I felt like it affected the texture of my hair for a long time. So I went through a lot of shampoos before I really found one I like. Diane, hi. How do you determine if your dental fillings are an issue in regard to your liver? So you must mean silver amalgams, and they're all going to off-gas some, but then you have to weigh the difference between, if I have my amalgams out, am I releasing potentially more mercury, because they're mercury silver, you know, into the air, into my nasal passages, into like that would drain down the back of your throat? Are the benefits better than the costs? And so I think it depends. If you're healthy, I would leave them alone. If you're not healthy, you need a biologically trained dentist. It gets really expensive. They can do vitamin C, IV vitamin C at the same time. And I've also seen have them out one by one, which again gets really expensive, especially when you're going to do vitamin C. I am in dentistry. See a biological dentist. There you go. Thanks, Sue. Yeah, but even so, Sue, do you recommend taking them out one by one? Like take one out a month? Let's say you have 4 silver amalgams that are 20 years old. Would your office recommend them all 4 to come out at one time? Or would you say, let's do one, let you recover, let's do another one, let you recover? Quadrant at a time. Yeah, I would agree. But if there were like 3 in one quadrant and somebody was really sensitive, like with MS or lupus or chronic Lyme or whatever, I would maybe still just do like 1 or 2 at a time, because I've definitely seen cases where people are much sicker afterwards, and so it is a big risk, Diane. Yeah. Other questions? Quadrant. Okay, so if you're not signed up for the newsletter, I am working on an article today about methylation, do's and don'ts. I've changed my opinion about this 180 degrees over the last couple of years. I first learned about methylation in 2013. If you don't know what methylation is, in a really simple fashion, it's taking a methyl group, which is a carbon, 3 hydrogen atoms, and attaching it to something, and it's usually involved in a chemical reaction, like to make protein or to turn on a DNA sequence or to turn off a DNA sequence. So we methylate from head to toe. Our liver does a lot of methylation, and I was in the camp of people who thought that we can alter methylation pathways, and to an extent we can, but not as much as I liked. I used to have this whole wall of crazy about all these metabolic pathways and, you know, tried to address certain SNPs, and it totally was not working. And so anyway, it's a couple years later, and I am writing the next article for my website about methylation, what to do if you've been told you have trouble methylating, and what not to do, like what not to eat, what, you know, even tonight, personal care products, that all factors in. And so you can, if you're not signed up for my newsletter, you might want to do that. The other thing you should know about Facebook is that, you know, their new algorithm is finally in place. This is probably the last one. And so they're only going to show my posts to a very small fraction of people. So for example, 4,000 people like me on Facebook, and an average post gets seen by about 200 to 500 people, because I can see the analytics on my side. So the thing you can do, if you like the kind of stuff I have, is go to Healthy Lifestyles, my page, the one you're on, and up right next to like, right next to that is follow, and if you hover over that, you can say default, see first, or unfollow. If you choose see first, then my post will show up in your feed first. And you can do that for 30 people if you didn't know that. So again, if you want to see my stuff, then choose see first, or right up next to see to like and follow. I hope that makes sense. I can't do it. I can't show it to you while I'm on the air, but just so you know. And then here's Sue. For dental information, go to IAOMT for info on removal. Great website. Yes, I've definitely heard of that. It does. What's it does? Okay, so we'll see you for the next Facebook Live. I have picked the topic. Now I can't remember what it is, but it's a month away. I'll do these on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, once a month at least. Now and then some impromptu ones, just fast ones, like on the weekend if Johnny and I are doing something in the kitchen and I want to show you. Thanks for being here. Sign up for the newsletter so that you learn about methylation. Click the follow see first button up at the top of my page, and we'll see you next time. So thanks everybody. We're going to sign off. Thank you for being here.